All right, welcome. Sunday Speedrunner Spotlight on a Friday. Close enough. Gotta milk these out before pace, as you do. Right, episode 39. Large number. And yes, I have invited my arch nemesis today. Just because the first two letters of our usernames happen to be identical. And
Uh,
apparently that's
it's
all you need.
it's more like a friendly rivalry. I like to think of it.
Yeah, and we're not slitting each other's throats, I guess, so
Yeah,
could always be worse, but anyway,
yeah.
welcome. Hello. Nice shades, of course.
Thank you, thank you. Chose these out just now.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like last minute decisions.
Yep.
Usually the best decisions, I think.
Well, not always, but they can be pretty good.
They can be. Speaking of decisions, deciding to speedrun is quite a big decision. So,
Well,
well, is it not?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on who you are, because I think for most people it starts out as a hobby. Nobody really thinks about like money going into it.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not what I meant.
Oh,
Just mean, even just starting out, I think it's quite a bit of work to like get yourself to actually do it. Like, it's fun, obviously, but it's still
oh
like
yeah, definitely.
still not easy. So, and I was just trying to lead in into how did you get started?
Okay, so 2017, there is this ROM hacker, Kaz Emanuar. He
Mm-hmm.
basically makes like all the big ROM hacks for SM64. And at the time, Odyssey had just been revealed. So he decided to make like a sort of demake physics mod of Odyssey in Mario 64. Um, so while he was testing this on stream, he like accidentally he programmed it not like the best because it was just like a for fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you could end up capturing just about any object, including doors. So in the castle mode, there's like the underwater door,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just doing like a mock speed run of it. So he captures that door, brings it up to dry land, and then walks through it. And I saw that, and I thought that would make for a really interesting speed run. So then, like late 2017, I started doing runs of that for a little bit. I met a guy through that. We talked a bit. He did vanilla runs as well. Then we just kind of stayed in touch. We did runs of the hack occasionally. I think around this time I also started watching more vanilla speedrunners as well. But it was when Ouija got his 15, 17, and 16 star. I think it was like the first world record in like 2 years or something. That I felt like I should speedrun vanilla. And I thought going into 16 star that getting a 15 would be easy, which is very very naive and cocky of me.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since then, I just kind of stuck with it, and yeah, I've been enjoying it for the most part.
Yeah, 16 looks fun. Well, and it's great until you get like, oh, good luck if you make even a second worth of mistakes. Haha. But
Yeah,
that's every run, I guess, to
I
some
I mean, in a
extent.
sense, it is. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, I think that challenge and like basically striving for perfection makes it a pretty unique experience. But I also
Mm-hmm.
get that it's not really for everyone.
Yeah, you definitely have to have the right mindset for it and
Definitely.
have worked your ass off for it too. It
Yeah.
is quite punishing, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's super fun to watch, of course. I mean, there's a reason it's so popular, so
Yep.
it's quite impressive being like at the top with one of the most run games ever.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like if more and more people like if this game had Melee's player base in terms of competitiveness, I feel like we'd probably see like a lot more pro times than what there is currently. Because I think if you're just like persistent enough, like you can get to the top, and you're like, you're analyzing, and your practice is always productive. Like
Hmm.
I think if you have enough time and you do all those things, then you can get to the top in a pretty reasonable amount of time. It's
Hmm.
just that I don't think a whole lot of people do that just for like some sort of circumstance. Some people do. Some people get pretty far, but a lot of the time it just comes down to the time commitment. It feels like.
Yeah, yeah, it's a huge commitment, and most of the time people don't have that time to dedicate to something as silly as running Mario 64 in the
Yeah,
grand scheme of
exactly.
things. So yeah, I definitely get that. But yeah, I mean, it's still like a lot of work though. Like it's not just, oh, I want to do it. it'll take a month. Probably won't.
Yeah,
Game's kind of hard, just like
yeah,
most games at top level that are very popular. So, but yeah, I mean,
exactly.
anyone can definitely get into it. I mean, that's the fun of it.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think that's just why the speedrun has lasted so long. Because like, I mean, every now and then you see a big streamer pick it up, and usually like Simply is probably in contact and like coaching them because like all the big streamers live in the same state or whatever.
hmm
So like it just makes the game expand further and further to other fan bases and brings new speedrunners.
yeah, I mean, it's been popping off
Yeah,
just exponentially since it really started getting a name for itself on Twitch and YouTube in the mid 2010s,
yeah,
I'd say. So, yeah, with it brings more and more people, and then it gets a bit ridiculous for every game.
yeah. It makes me wonder how much like longer it'll go on for though, because like it feels like every time like things begin to stagnate, like a little something happens and it's just like it just like snowballs and then there's like you'll think, oh, it'll never die. Which I mean, it might not, but it probably will at some point.
I I don't know. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's still like not a like old hobby. Like it
Yeah,
hasn't been around that long, especially in like its modern popularity. So it's hard to judge based on the time frame that we have if it'll ever like actually start falling off plus ratioing. So,
yeah. It's
but
just I don't know. It's hard to really even just. It's like imagining a color that doesn't exist. You know, you just can't really imagine those types of circumstances really happening with how I guess just like positive everything is around the game
hmm
in terms of growth, player base, etc.
yeah, there's no way to know. So all we can do is just be along for the ride and see what happens and
Yeah,
hope nothing dies completely. But
we'll see.
yeah, I mean, what's important is right now it's going pretty hard, I'd say.
Yeah,
Lots of, especially 16, lots of stuff's been happening.
yeah.
That's getting really optimized now. So,
But I mean, it is getting pretty optimized. But like Slippery Nip's been making pretty big moves again because he was like almost ahead of Suiji's PB, leaving HMC the other night, which is pretty exciting, all things considered.
wow. So what? That's like 957 range, right?
Yeah, yeah, he got like a 958.3, and I think Suiji's is like point 0.4 or point 0.5 slower or faster. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Wow. Wild. Yeah, I remember his 4x. I'm glad he got it by so much.
yeah,
I was like,
it would
yeah,
have been
deserved that one.
yeah, it would have been heartbreaking if he got like a 1449.8 or whatever.
No, just even skip 45.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty chunky PB,
Yeah. Big moves are happening. And
definitely.
it's nice that there's not that huge gap from 5x to 35.
Yeah,
It looks a little more normal now, but I think
only a
we're gonna
little.
see a yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more 4x's here coming up. So
Yeah.
maybe even at pace. Shoutouts.
I mean, I think it'd be really great if I could get a 4x there, but at best, I'll probably be able to get like a 14 that's a couple seconds off my PB.
Yeah. How you have like 9 hours, right? In total
Yeah,
player
you have 9
ratio.
hours, but like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can get like nothing in a 9 hour session, which is like the other troubling thing. But
Yeah, I mean it is
uh,
just one day. You're gonna have to
yeah,
take breaks here and there because
yeah, and
nine
the
hours is a lot.
120 runners get like 3 days. Like they have at least like some solace in that. But I have one shot, one full time shift, so to speak.
Yeah. So anyway, moving back into the like the timeline format here. When you started running, like how quickly did you get really good at the game?
I always felt like my progress was very gradual. There wasn't like any like big spikes of improvement. Like I'd get a couple PBs every couple months. Like honestly, it still is kind of like that. I think people started taking notice of me more in like mid to late 2020 because like COVID had just happened. Everyone was inside more or less. At least I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always watching streams and people were like, "Dude, you're everywhere." I was like, "Yeah, I don't have anything to do." So when I wasn't watching streams during that time period, I would basically just be streaming the game, trying to do runs and stuff. And then December 3rd, 2020, which is also my birthday. I think I turned 16. Yeah, 16. I turned 16 and I got a 1524, which was top 10 at the time. And I think that was like kind of like a breakout performance for me.
Wow. That slow got you top 10 back then. That doesn't sound long ago. That just shows everyone's been killing it
Yeah,
recently.
the game's
Wow.
just evolved so much in such a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I see that with a lot of games now, but I guess I just didn't realize the scope of how crazy things got in 16 star there. Wow.
Yeah,
It's pretty gnarly. And then
definitely.
not too much later, I know the 16 star summoning salt video came out, and that definitely got a lot of more eyes
Oh
on
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yep.
It was right when Suiji was just like starting to really make big moves though.
Yeah, so
And
he wasn't
he
mentioned in the video at all, and then
yeah,
he's the
not even a
one
little
that
bit.
popped it off. It's really
Yeah.
funny.
But at least I know Slippery still gets viewers from that video in his chat occasionally. Cause like literally this morning I was watching his stream, and someone brought up the summoning salt video and was like, "Oh, I recognize you from that." Cause like that
No
video
one can
ends with
forget his
him.
username.
That
No
is
one
true.
can. So
But
it
like
works
that
out.
video also ends with him having the record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's like it's like I think 2 years, 2.5 years out of date now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so much happens in that time frame. What was it, like 1456?
Yeah, yeah, that was his
Yeah.
PB.
All right, my memory works. That's good. That's good. But yeah. Yeah, I remember especially when Kano finally beat Aki. Like that was so huge. That was everywhere. That was like Twitch tweeted about it even or
Yeah,
something.
Twitch did tweet about it, and then like at the end of the year when they do like their gamer recap of a bunch of like big stream moments, Kano was actually
Mm-hmm.
also featured in that like little demo reel.
Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, 16 just had a lot of eyes in that era. I think that probably helped inspire the video to be like, oh yeah, let's do it. And then
Yeah, yeah,
stuff happened
and
to.
it was definitely like 16's peak popularity. Almost feels like well, besides like Suiji grinding really hard.
Hmm. Yeah, like that really just helped push it. Well, Kano like especially really helped because Aki's run stood for a long time in comparison to like most 16 star runs.
Yeah, it was like a year or something,
Yeah, like
or around there, around there.
yeah, something like that. Like we haven't seen like a gap in time that large since like when Ouija broke that one. That
Yeah, yeah,
what was it
Zaya's
15,
record.
17? Yes, eyes. Yeah. So yeah, big time for the category. And then so I know that video helped you out a little bit too because you're one of the people mentioned in the like pinned comment.
Well, well, yeah. Well, the funny thing is, when that comment was originally posted, he shouted out like Suiji, and then like the rest of the top five,
Hmm.
but not me. But he shouted out Aki, who hadn't been active in a year. Uh, I was a little hurt about that, but I asked
Drama.
Ted. It wasn't drama, but like
No, I know. I'm kidding.
yeah, I hit up Ted. He talked to Saul and he edited it, so
Yeah.
that was fortunate.
Shoutouts to Ted coming in clutch every time.
Literally,
Hmm. I mean, you would know from the one incident.
yeah, good times.
Good times. Yeah. Shoutouts to the sound glitch entering bits. Good game.
Good glitch.
Good
Good
glitch.
game,
Good.
good glitch.
Love Mario 64. But yeah, so it really spiked the category's popularity. It seemed like everyone was like really going ham there. So what was
Yeah.
like that era like with everyone improving, yourself included?
Honestly, it was really exciting because like, COVID hits, everyone's fucking
Hmm.
home. For me especially, I started grinding, streaming just like a bunch. Like, I probably streamed like at least 27 or 28 days a month for between like February to like
Jesus.
May. Yeah, I was fucking going at it. It was insane. And that did result in me getting like a fuck ton of viewership. Like I think that period is still like my peak viewership because I was consistent. I was getting runs. People were watching me. There was hype, all that
Hmm.
stuff. And I managed to get a Twitch partner from it, which was pretty fortunate of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sick era. Everyone was like that was top was like, oh, everyone's partner now and getting like easy triple
Yeah,
digit viewers. It was like, damn,
yeah. And
category popping
I
off.
I think Slippery Nip had also gone partner like early in the year, which was pretty
Hmm.
exciting.
Yeah, always nice to see hard work pay off to some extent.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Sweegie came in and ruined everything. No, but
Yeah, he's stealing all our money,
yeah,
stealing all our viewers.
unfortunate. Nothing you can do,
It is what
honestly.
it is.
It is what it is. But man, yeah, that was also sick to see though. Like that improvement is wild to witness.
Yeah,
And then,
definitely.
but it's still important. Like everyone else was, yeah, still so many 14 started cluttering the board in that era.
Yeah.
This
And now like
top
all
10
the
are all
top
14s, right?
yeah, all the top 10's 14 now. And then
That's
like
wild.
the slowest not 14 time is a 15 flat by Trey Bordeaux.
uh, Rip Mr. Bordeaux pack. Oh well, he'll get there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. 16 is just so interesting as a
It
interesting
is.
history, interesting run. I fully understand why it's as popular as it is. It just is like one of the perfect runs in all aspects. So
Well, I mean, maybe not in terms of like the viewership experience, unless like you're always like pacing or like on
yeah, I
record
guess
pace.
the intro does kind of suck. I think that
Yeah,
my take, because I run it a little bit, but my take is it's nice to have like a minute long break, unless although I'm not top level, so it's not like I'm resetting to missing Lakitu skip every time, so I can't speak on that front. But it's like it's nice to have a minute long break, then you can look at chat and actually respond. Because that game,
yeah,
like I'm used to Mario One, where every level has like a 20-minute cutscene. You get to just sit there and wait, but Mario 64 doesn't have as much downtime. So it's nice to have a moment where you can actually take a break and do
yeah.
streaming stuff. So I think it's pretty good
It,
for that.
it definitely is a good benefit. Like I can also see why like some people wouldn't want the intro because like
Hmm.
it's a minute, but honestly, I don't know. I just feel like things are good enough the way they are that they don't necessarily have to be changed.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the current setup, I think. There are positives and negatives. They cancel each other out. And there we
Yeah,
are. Why mess with something that works? So, yeah, it's a good category for all
definitely.
of that stuff. So, 14, when did you achieve that?
It was like I think either November 30th or actually are there 30 or 31? I'll check.
November has 30.
Yeah, so it was like November 30th or something of last year that I got my first 14. So like overall, it's still pretty recent because like in
Hmm.
2021 July I got like a 1508, and I didn't PB for like a year straight, and then I got like a I think I got like a 1506 or something or 1505,
You're like
and
PBing
then
by a second at a
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. After I got that like 1505, I would get an oh 04, an oh 03, and oh 02. I don't know if I got an oh 01 or not. But I skipped the 15 flat. I know that for sure. And then I went from 1501 or whatever to 1456.
Yeah, so wasn't a baby step there. Kind of leaped a little forward after all that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny though, because like I had never done anything like that before. So like it looked like I was farming content, but really it was just like it just happened to be like that each time.
It happens to be kind of hard. Shocking, but
Yeah,
14 and 16 stars isn't exactly free real estate, so
yeah,
I guess it makes sense. But yeah, and then I know you PB'd one more time and then still there, right? Like
yeah,
55?
yeah. That was like it was the 2nd of January this year that I got that 1455.
Yeah, so
Um,
you're due for more, sounds like.
yeah, it's just like I uh I was doing my last year of high school, and I
Hmm.
graduated now. Obviously, I'm just a neat now, as they say. But like it was kind of hard to just like maintain discipline and focus on the game, and just like make sure your practice feels productive and analytical and constructive and all that
Hmm.
while you're also doing school.
Oh
So
yeah.
I would say like a lot of my playtime between January 2nd when I got my PB up to like me graduating, it just felt very I guess just half-assed. My mind wasn't really all the way in it. My heart wasn't there. Um but start of October I started picking things up, and like I don't know if you've seen, I'm sure other people have seen like on my Twitter, like I was tweeting like every other day, some couple paces. I finished a couple 14s during October.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely making my way back up.
Yeah. Do you have any like practice tips or mental tips or anything?
Uh, I've always felt like my mentality's been roughly the same in terms of just like avoiding getting tilted, and a lot of it just comes down to experience. Because like a lot of the mistakes that I do make in a run, I've already made them like a dozen times, so like it doesn't phase me. It's like, oh, that happened for X and X reason,
Hmm.
and I know how to avoid it, but like I just happen to not avoid it that time. As for like warm up routine, so I started doing what Suiji did for 16 star, basically, where he does a star 3 times in a row, like everything in the run, basically, like even castle movement, Bowser stages, that type of deal.
Hmm.
3 times in a row, set a goal time, and your goal time is the worst time that you'll allow yourself to get. And if you get like let's say your goal time's like 36:30, sky no reds. If you finish at 36:33, you have to restart again. It doesn't count for the streak. Um, and then you have to play under that 3 times in a row, back to back. And this method, I think, works really well because it encourages both consistency and speed, which is exactly what you want in 16 star.
Hmm.
So doing that a lot, and like when I'm doing the streaks, if I realize, oh, I'm resetting to the same thing a bunch, like instead of being mindless, because it is very easy to just like play mindlessly. I think to myself, okay, why am I making that mistake each time? What should I do to avoid that mistake? Like, what's a visual cue, something I can latch onto every time, so that even when I'm in the run, as long as I'm conscious, I can avoid making said mistake. Um, so that sort of just, I guess, philosophy, you apply that to every other part of the run, and the result, at least for me, is like an uptick in consistency and speed, and in just being able to get like paces I wasn't even able to get before. Because like I think my best split time was like a 10:02 HMC, and I got those occasionally, and now like every other time I do a session, if it's long enough, I'll be able to like crank out like a 10:02 or at least a 10:03. Like I can either play around it or even potentially beat something like a 10:02. Like I've been on pace to get a 10 flat HMC already, which I hadn't been able to do before.
Hmm.
So it definitely feels like this streaks practice routine is just like it's a perfect mix of constructiveness, um, analyzing, and just like overall speed. It really feels like it's good for me.
Hmm. I've also
Because
heard it's a good way of like simulating nerves because if you're on
yeah,
like
yeah,
your streak, it's like, oh shit, I could get this.
yeah, exactly. But I think that effect is more greater if you do like a deeper streak, like 5 times or 10 times, because like
Hmm.
by the time you get to like the seventh or like even above five, if you're doing 10 in a row, you're like, oh shit, I gotta fucking clutch up now.
Yep. But yeah, I've heard this practice method is the way to go.
It definitely is, because like I can't speak for other runners, but like me personally, it really felt like my entire career up to like this year where I started doing more streaks, like my practice routines, everything just felt like kind of half-ass. You could like I was mostly playing and practicing kind of mindlessly. It didn't feel very productive, and I think a large part of that probably contributed to my like inability to see like big improvement really fast. Because like Suiji, like his was always like a very gradual but very fast improvement rate, whereas mine was like kind of slow. It was like it didn't feel that great.
Hmm. Yeah. So
But with streaks, I've been able to like defeat that sense of a slow improvement.
yeah, I've been trying to figure out ways to incorporate that to other games in a meaningful way because
Yeah,
a lot of games are different. So, but yeah, I've definitely heard nothing but good things about this strategy for doing it.
yeah.
So,
I think with other games, like as long as you're all the way there mentally and you're focusing, you're analyzing every little thing you do, which is mentally exhausting, but in the end it is beneficial. You can probably see similar results, I think.
Ugh. Hope I'm not getting sick. I have to leave tomorrow.
Bless you.
Thank you. But yeah. So speaking of leaving tomorrow, that's for this wonderful event called Pace. Woo. When
Woo.
this video comes out, Pace will have ended, Sag. But
Yeah.
for us in the past here, live on Twitch right now, hasn't happened yet. And you will be participating in that. We talked about a little bit, but there's a 16-star lifetime attack format for about 9 hours.
Yep.
Was that Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's Wednesday, November
Wednesday.
8th.
Got it. So yeah, is that your first like tournament style thing?
I've competed in that style digitally a couple times, but like doing it live, yeah, is my first
Mm-hmm.
time. I was offered to do it, I think last year in summer, and then like in October and November, or no, it might have been October or something. But I had to decline because I wasn't able to compete in it in person.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's better now that I compete in this one because like had I competed in the other two I was invited to, it might have involved like a earlier face reveal because like I would prefer doing it under my like own way, and that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what I did with face revealing this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty excited to compete. It's a little nerve wracking though because like I never competed live in front of people before. Like I don't know what to
Mm-hmm.
how to prepare myself mentally very well.
Yeah. I'll see if I can ad- give advice in this field because I played a lot of tournaments like online, but um the pace like Mario one thing with the simultaneous screen, that was the
Yeah,
first like massive competition I did live. And I know this might have been because I forgot my controller and had to run to my hotel room and back right before. But after my first race, I got the closest to just passing out than I ever have before.
ooh,
Like
were you like
I
lightheaded?
I had never had this sensation before, but I got up, was walking off the stage. Like I played pretty well, I thought. I think I got like the first 458 of the event, so pog, but I was going to sit down and my entire body felt like, TV static
Yeah,
entirely. Like I couldn't
I
feel anything and I was like, what is going on? I've never felt like this before.
I felt like that before from Mario. Like my hands and feet would go numb, but like, was it your
Mhm.
entire body?
Yeah, like I thought
Oh
it was shutting
Jesus.
down. But again, I think it was because I was winded from having to run back to the hotel room.
That would make sense.
But I mean, I was like, it was nerve wracking. I had never done something like that before.
Mm,
So, I mean, I still performed well. So I think I mean, it goes for any like live event, but once you start, you for past the first like 30 seconds, you'll forget where you are and get into the groove of things.
mm. Yeah, it
So,
definitely seems that way. But like, there's also like, if you got a big run going, you're put on the big screen, people are watching.
hmm
Like, I think it's really easy to like get short sighted and just like distracted by that, and like you're like
yeah,
10 times more nervous.
it's hard to limit distractions.
Yeah,
Definitely. Uh, you, you at least in your format will have the added benefit of it's not like a race, so you
that
can
is true.
reset and get into the groove of things. Because what I
Yeah,
was doing was like, if you die, haha, too bad, L plus ratio. So at least there's that. But yeah, I I wouldn't know what it would be like to because no, well I did do the warplet. They had like little Mario 1 LTAs, like hour long stuff. And yeah, I remember that. Ugh, that was interesting. I actually think once I was on the big screen, I was like, okay, I gotta clutch up, and I almost did. I mean, I got
mm,
first place in warp, tied first place in warpless, but I almost got super first place. So maybe I don't know. It's something you definitely have to experience. It's hard to like explain it because everyone's gonna
yeah.
react differently. So, but
I
yeah, it's
think
definitely gonna be a moment. I'd say.
yeah. I think I can definitely like if I'm like head first like into like the whole like nervousness thing. You're on the big screen, people are watching, like there's a sizable crowd. I think what I have to do is like I have to adjust mentally in real time, like
Mm-hmm.
fast.
Yeah.
Which I think is something I can do because like I've felt similar ways mentally before, where like you just kind of have to like adjust to that whole like different scenario or like just like a different factor of nervousness. But like I think I'll be able to do okay through that because like I don't know, but it sounds kind of fun having
Mm-hmm.
to adjust to that, and then like it's 10 times more gratifying if you're able to adjust to it and still perform well in front of people like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes for great moments, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you see yourself getting nervous and have a free time, you can like look at how everyone else is doing and being like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah,
Something to distract you from. You look to the where the screen is, not at the crowd, I
yeah,
guess. But yeah, and again, you have the added benefit of having multiple hours, so you can get used to how it feels.
yeah,
Because if you have like one pacer and you weren't ready for it and it dies, it's like, well, you'll probably have another one in like half an hour, and it's like, oh, well, now I
yeah,
know what it's like, and then it can go a little better, and it's just gonna get better over
exactly.
time. So yeah, it should be really fun. So
I think I'll definitely enjoy it. But like, if I do manage to PB, like even if I finish a decent 14, I think like I'll probably experience a similar like body numbness that you experience because like it's just like
yeah,
it's so raw. Everything's just like so real. You know, there are
yeah,
stakes. People
there's
are
nothing
watching
like
you.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can have tournaments at home, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
You can do marathon runs on stage, but it's not the same.
yeah,
It's a very
exactly.
specific instance, and yeah.
And just it requires such a specific mentality. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's like survival of the fittest.
Sure. It's a funny way of putting it, but yeah, like LTAs are a great format just for they have a bunch of benefits for not having to stress too much about certain aspects,
Yeah,
and the viewers, especially the viewers, always have something to look at. So you don't, and that can help your mentality. Like, oh well, I don't have to play perfectly at all times because they can be watching someone else too. Like, it's not like you performing badly is going to ruin the experience like a marathon run could. So
yeah.
yeah, you can just do attempts like you normally would. You're just in a different location. So yeah, plenty of benefits. So it's a good format. I'm excited for that because
It it definitely seems like it'll probably be like primarily the future of speedrun competitions.
mhm. I think that and the simultaneous thing that Flippy's working on here, those should be like the two main like future of speedrun tournament stuff.
Yeah.
Like you
It's like
have your
it's just
traditional races, but in a way that it's engaging for viewership and they understand what's going on. And then you have your LTA where they can watch something at all times to be entertained. And that's like more focused on the doing attempts in a way that keeps interest.
yeah, it's
So,
it's such fascinating technology too, how it works for SMB1.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's probably like the holy grail of like competition formats.
yeah. I just hope that takes off because so much work went into all of that. And there
Yeah.
needs to be more games, but I mean, who knows how long it would take to do anything. And like it's so hard to get that all together. Like Pace allowed it, and then they did that test run at that Denver thing that I missed
Yeah.
because I was at Pace in the fall last year.
Yeah. I
Perfect
think
timing, but yeah.
I think like all it needs is just like one breakout, like well, I'm gonna use the term breakout performance, but basically just like something that'll really put it on the map, like on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think part of that just like involves having like good, I guess, marketing skills in a sense to make
Mm-hmm.
sure it gets the attention that it honestly deserves.
Yeah, I think Pace did a really good job at that. It's just there hasn't been that was just live streamed, and then that's you had to have like been there to see it.
Yeah,
Um,
basically.
the recorded footage isn't out yet. I think it will be at some point, but like,
Yeah.
there's no way to like really go back and watch it unless you review the VOD. I'm sure it's still up somewhere. So
Yeah.
once that gets pushed out, I think that'll definitely help a lot because they did that
Yeah.
with their little Denver thing they did. They
Yeah,
had like
it'll
very
definitely
well
propel
edited
it.
stuff. Yeah. The videos they edited for that were very well edited. And I think that was super cool. And I think they did pretty well viewer wise.
Yeah.
So hopefully that. And now I know the project's open source, so maybe people can figure out how
Ooh,
to do it with other games, other
dude, that'd be
consoles.
sick. Yeah.
I mean, like any 2D Mario has the potential for that to work really well. I want to say even Mario 64 could, but I don't know a way that would work yet.
I I think it would involve like EverDrives like hooked up to one thing. Like it would definitely be a very big project to do, but
Hmm.
like it wouldn't even be legal for speedruns technically because like the best way to do it would be with like EverDrives that have the USB port,
Hmm. Yeah.
which is a little unfortunate, but at least like the potential is there in a sense.
Hmm. But yeah, I meant more like I don't know how they would show it. Like the only thing I could think of that I have as a reference point is when they have the task competitions. That person will like
Oh
take
yeah,
all of the
yeah.
tasks and have them like play at once, and you can see what they all did. But you know, especially longer categories of like Mario 64, it could be spread out enough where people are in like different stages, and then at that point, it's like, what's the point? Like, I don't know how it would really work yet.
Hmm.
There'd have to be some serious like thought involved on exactly how something like that would work in a good way.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a very big project to do.
Yeah. So I think like 2D platformers are currently like what that format specifically should be tailored for,
Yeah,
because that
especially
makes the most sense.
because like it's like those 2D games are like I guess very static in a sense, you know.
Hmm.
It's like it's easier to just like track everything.
Yeah, it's easier to understand for viewers and everything. They just see the map
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, that one's the furthest right. They must be in the lead.
yeah,
Wow,
exactly.
that was easy. And there you go. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with that specific
Yeah,
like stuff, but who knows? Hopefully it can be at a pace again, at least. If nothing else, that'd be cool. Happy for
I'm
when.
sure it will be at some point again.
Yeah. And we almost, I know Mario 1 almost had an LTA at this one, but I think 16 Star won out over it, but it was because like not enough people could go to it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So something like that too would be fine, but I definitely want to see
Maybe
more of that technology.
maybe for next pace if more Mario One runners are going.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, but
Yeah,
speaking of this 16 Star one, I know they just announced like now Suiji's in it and someone else as well. So now
yeah.
there's going to be
Nils.
7. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's really hype.
it is pretty hype. Milo originally wanted 7 runners for it, which is why
Mhm.
the original roster that was tweeted only had 6.
Yeah.
But Cheese had to drop out because he was experiencing like pretty bad hand pains. He's still gonna compete in the 121, but I
Mhm.
imagine like he obviously just wants to save his hands for 120 and like
Yeah.
try his best without hurting himself. Um, and then they got Suigi in because like Cheese is gone, and then Nils was added because obviously he originally wanted 7 people.
Mhm.
1 second at the BRB.
Oh, okay. I will. What do I do in this situation? Actually, how's it going? But yeah, pace is coming up. Well, when people see the recording, it'll be outdated. It would have already happened, and you'd have to like watch the VODs and stuff. But for the live viewers, I guess, yeah, pace starts in 2 days. Everyone's gonna show up tomorrow at the hotel and everything. So yeah, what do they have this year? They have that 16 star thing, the 120 for 3 days. I know I'm doing Lost Levels Warp List. There's like a whole 2D Mario block. Oh, the 70 star, 70 person relay is a thing. That'll be cool. Um, and what are the other LTAs? I'm trying to remember because there was obviously there's the 16 star. Oh, like Banjo Kazooie's one of them, and then like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think. I think I have that right. And so like okay, it starts Sunday, so I think Monday's Banjo Kazooie, Tuesdays Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Wednesday's 16 star, Thursday, Friday, Saturday are the 120 star. So check that out. Twitch.tv/speedrun. That'll be a good week of runs. And then If you're watching the YouTube video, I guess you'll have to see the VOD. Unfortunate. But I gotta record these in advance while I'm gone. It's just how it works. But yeah. Fun times. Pace is cool, so exciting. I'm excited to see how this one will go. By the time this is on YouTube, I will have already seen how it has went. Just funny to think about. I don't know what else I can milk. Talking about. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, let's see. So when this releases, it'll be Sunday next week. I don't know if there's anything interesting going on in November after Pace. I know GDQ happens in January. Then I don't know about anything in December either. I know Mario RPG is like about to release by the time this is on YouTube. That could be cool. Last week's episode, I know Ice Blue is going to be running that game. So maybe that'll become a good speed run like the SNES version is. What other game releases are there? We got Wonders, so is that like all the big Nintendo stuff? Hmm, not sure. I can't think of anything else at least. Well, wish I could think of something else to talk about. Hmm. Never had this situation before. Ooh.
All right, yo, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, good. I had to run out of things to talk about. I was getting worried. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I was just talking about the schedule for Pace, what it'll be
Nice.
like, and then well, watch the VOD if you're watching on YouTube because that'll be when it's over. Oh
Yeah.
well. So anyway, so that I think we talked a good amount about Pace.
Yeah.
You've done the other some of the other Mario 64 categories as well, right?
Very little. I've
Mm.
done like the most out of all of them that I've done besides 16 is 1 star, just because like most of 1 stars is basically just like the Bowser stages from 16,
Yeah.
BOJs and all that. I've done like one joke 70 run. I have tried a couple other attempts, but like I never really finished any of them. I did a joke 120 run. No practice, just like no reset.
Mm-hmm.
I thought those were pretty entertaining, but overall, my experience with the other categories isn't like very big.
Yeah. My 120-star run is just a joke run. First attempt, like first time I ever beat the game 120, I think. So it's like almost 6 hours, but it's fine.
Mm,
Just time saved for the future, but multiple
yep.
hours worth. But yeah, the other categories are fun. Well, 1 star exists, but the other categories are fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah.
just like I don't know, something like draws me to 16 the most, and like it's just what I've known for so long. Like it's what I'm used to. It's like I'm very dedicated to it right now.
Yeah, it makes
But
sense.
yeah, but like in the future, I definitely will do other categories. It's just like right now, I just want 16 to be my main focus
Yep. I
because
mean,
because it is what I enjoy the most right now.
yeah, definitely doing what you enjoy is most important. So
Yeah.
makes sense. no reason to move on, especially if you're like not satisfied or want to achieve something, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
works out. Um, and then all you've really done is just Mario 64 ROM hacks. You haven't like done another game, right?
Uh, yeah, pretty much just other ROM hacks.
Yeah. Or any ROM hacks make for good speedruns that you've done? Any like notable highlights?
Hmm. Well, the only ROM hacks I've really like done runs of is Waluigi's Taco Stand, and the main reason
Okay.
for that was because at the time that was like one of the very few console compatible hacks that was out there.
Mm,
So I thought it'd be cool to do a run of it on console, and then like because I was used to N64. Most runners that play on console prefer their hacks to work on console only.
hmm.
So I figured, that'd be a good way to just like advertise the capabilities of the hack.
Yeah.
Um, I think overall, as a simple casual hack, that hack's pretty enjoyable for most people. Very short.
Yeah.
Maybe confusing in some aspects, but it's not like it's a published game.
Yeah. There are no rules in ROM hacks.
Yeah,
Definitely no rules for quality.
yeah,
So
definitely not.
there's some fun stuff out there. But yeah, I wish more hacks were console compatible. And every like, especially if it's an older hack, if they like made it console compatible, there are like changes I very dislike.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
weird.
rare that you see like a proper like console compatible hack or like like you said, an old hack that gets made console compatible. It's
Hmm.
very rare that you see it basically be 1-to-1 to the actual hack without any extremely drastic changes.
Hmm. Yeah, just unfortunate because like every other console I could think of ROM hacks or one to one work on console no issue. So it's just kind of weird that that's different. But I
Yeah.
guess that has partial to do with like Nintendo 64 emulation being like not perfect. It never
Yeah, and I
has
mean
been.
like a lot of hacks up until like more of them were built with console compatibility in mind. Like they didn't consider like the inaccuracies that emulations just kind of like ignores.
Hmm. Yeah, it's weird. Like if I try to play like an old hack on console, it's 2 FPS or something, or
Yeah.
it's like got all these weird changes. Like I think it's called like Hacker 64 or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
suddenly you only need 80 coins instead of 100. You only need 6 reds instead of 8. It's like why though?
Yeah.
It's so weird. Just
It's weird, but like I don't know, sometimes like it's different, I'm not like taking the experience like super seriously.
mhm.
So I think I'm able to enjoy a lot of that more than other people who like want, or I guess just have very specific expectations. And most of
Yeah.
the time, those expectations are just like be as close to vanilla as possible.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess. It's just such weird changes that I've
Yeah,
noticed. Like they because the changes I noticed don't have to be like the ones that like make the game better and run actually run. Like okay, you don't have to change the coin counts needed for it to run. I
yeah,
I don't get it. But yeah, I mean there's some good hacks out there, so it'd just be nice if they could be enjoyed as they were originally intended, but on console, just with like the actually having it run changes added.
yeah.
But I guess we're not quite there yet. So,
I,
but
th-
I
I
mean,
think we're getting pretty close to that overall because
yeah,
like in general, more hackers are designing their hacks with console compatibility in mind, or at least like to some extent they are.
yeah.
Which just like it widens the pool and just allows for more people to experience hacks that strongly prefer console.
Hmm. I'm also sure the decomp helped with console compatibility.
I think it did. I don't know. I've heard it didn't like help that much, but
Mm,
I imagine it probably just like streamlined a lot of processes and like making certain tools and stuff.
yeah, I'm
Is
no
uh
hacker,
is
so I
yeah.
don't
I'm
know
not, I'm
what the
not
hell I'm
either.
talking about, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just wish they could be enjoyed on console like everything else I have that works one to one. But I
Yeah.
mean, the process they do have though, especially like romhacking.com, super straightforward at least. Like just click
Very,
a couple
very.
buttons. It's like okay, here it is.
And I think if you like use the launcher design around that website, like you can I just like playing hacks is even like even faster and more streamlined.
Hmm. Yeah, it's It's pretty wild how that all works because I had like a ROM playing ROM hack phase in like 2018 when I still had emulators, and
Hmm.
it wasn't as it wasn't hard, but it wasn't as streamlined as it is now. It's a whole site. You just click a couple buttons. It's like there it is. Have fun,
Yeah, exactly.
and it like saves your progress on the fly and stuff. It's like what is going on?
It's surprising, but like just like fantastic that like even like things like that are just like they continue to evolve just because like the community just sticks around for so long.
Hmm. Yeah, it's such a good game for ROM hacks
Yeah,
because the
definitely.
movement's just so good. You can put Mario in any environment, and it's probably going to be fun.
Yeah, and like some of the more creative hackers as well, they create what are essentially just like very unique experiences, but it's all
Hmm.
through Mario 64, like the same game.
Yeah, like, and even some of them are like just made for competitions, but they end up being these like crazy
Yeah, like these
new.
instant
Yeah,
classics.
it's like wow, it's Nintendo. Hire this person. The classic.
Hire this man.
Hire this man. No, but yeah, so much good stuff. And then yeah, I know on speedrun.com they have a whole like Mario 64 ROM hack category or series. I think they're called there, and I mean the list just goes on forever.
Yeah,
So definitely a
there-
scene for it.
there's just so many.
Oh my god, there are a wild amount,
Yeah,
and they're so easy to find. Well, Mario World ones are easy to find as well because they have a site for it. But those are like the two games I can think of that are like easy to find,
yeah,
like a
definitely.
giant collection. All the other games, it's like, well, you have to kind of know where to look and what you're looking for. It's not as simple as just like, here's everything, have fun. But that's why it's cool though. I'm glad it has that for it because again,
Yeah,
like the game works so well for it, and just more opportunities for Mario 64 speedruns in some regard. Get
yeah,
sick of Mario 64? Here's 1,000 other options you could do.
yeah. I definitely hope the ROM hack like speedrunning side of SM64's community gets more spotlight because like there's a lot of cool players. There's a lot of people with really nice movement. And like they don't even do it for really like any sort of notoriety. They just do it because they really enjoy it.
Hmm.
They like they have a slightly more niche, like a niche within a niche
Hmm.
community. And like everyone just like feeds off each other. It's like a positive feedback loop.
Yeah, yeah, it works really well. I love watching people run
Yeah.
games like that. Even sometimes people just go for like, let's just complete every hack on the site. It's like, all right, go off.
God, that such a marathon that would be.
Hmm.
Because like
And
some of those hacks have like what 170 stars. And it's like it takes like what 12 hours or some shit. It's absurd.
it's like one with like 400, I think.
I haven't heard of that, but there's probably something like that.
Maybe it's not out yet or something, but there's something like that. And it's, yeah, I think if you're playing ROM hacks enough, you like over time just get good at the game in movement, where you like
Yeah,
could just speedrun the game at that point just from playing enough of those. But definitely, definitely different still. But I mean, you're doing movement so much, you have to like pick up on it over time.
yeah,
Unless some ROM hacks that like mess with things for some reason. Well, again, it depends, but I know some of them definitely
yeah,
mess with the movement. It's
yeah,
another problem I've had with like the console hacks that they put on there that were like old and they had to change things to make it work. It's like it's
I
just
think
weird.
too many hackers like try to force what they think is ideal for the player instead of just like keeping it as close to original as possible. Because like I imagine a couple changes might be like nice quality of life things, but like overall, it's like it's just not that necessary.
It'd be nice to have like a settings you could turn things on and off
Oh yeah,
or
yeah, that
something.
would be pretty nice.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see that soon. Like again, I don't know like the state of hacking, like how easy it is, what you can do with tools at your disposal, but from what I've seen, I mean, they can do some gnarly things. So
Definitely.
surely someday it can be a little more lenient on your play style and you can like choose your experience
Yeah.
because yeah, it definitely deserves it. I mean, there's so much good content out there. And well, Might be hard now. I've heard some new Nintendo rules came out, so I don't know what to expect at this point. But
We'll we'll see how it impacts it. Hopefully, we can just ignore it, but probably
I've
not.
been ignoring it forever. Hopefully that keeps working. Because
Maybe.
no thanks. I don't want to not be able to play content that is fun
Yeah.
because Nintendo's old man angrily shaking fist at people. I'll never understand them, but it's, I mean, you're into Smash community, right?
Yeah, I've
So
been seeing some of the
yeah,
impact it's had.
you've seen it more than most then.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking tragic, but I don't know, it's bleak. But the Smash community in particular, like they stick together. They stick it to the companies. They do what they can to keep on thriving.
Hmm. So actually, what is like Melee like? I'm just
Mm,
curious.
like the community or the game?
Both.
The game very fun. I like the movement. Very just fast paced.
Hmm.
Uh, the community it's very social. Like the reason it's lasted, the competitive scene has lasted for like over 20 years, is just because like h- if you find the right community, you find the right circle to stick in. Like you like everyone, everyone likes you. It's like another positive feedback loop.
Hmm.
And it just continues to thrive. There's always going to be competitive people, and the game's just like so easily accessible now through like Slippy because it has like god tier net code. That it's just like so much more people keep on finding out about the game and learning all that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, it looks cool. Uh, I mean, I just know so many people. There's like a big overlap between speedrunning and melee.
Yeah, there is. I'm pretty surprised by it because it's just like the two hobbies are very different, but like in some aspects they do have overlap.
I don't think they're well. Like the games are different, but
Yeah, yeah,
like both you're learning tech. You're probably playing on CRTs, giant tournaments, dedicated. I mean, Paste literally takes place at a melee venue,
yeah. That's
essentially.
true. Or well, I
So
guess it's just Smash because it does
just
Ultimate too.
Smash, yeah, but still, like, just funny. And then like GDQ always has a whole room dedicated to just Smash.
Yeah,
So I think the overlap's actually very large.
it is. It is.
And then some Smash people just talk about speedrunning for whatever reason sometimes.
Yeah. And like some pro smashers like they get into speedrunning a lot of the time SM64.
Yeah.
What so I went to the Big House 11 last weekend. It's a like probably the biggest smash tourney.
Hmm.
Um and when I was with my friend to pick up my badge to like be able to actually enter the venue properly, the fucking guy who was like I mean, you know how it is, like you give them your tag and like they ask for info and they give you your badge.
Hmm.
I said GTM and he was like, "Oh, like the Mario 64 speedrunner." And
Wow.
I was I know. I was pretty surprised by that because like I've been in the melee community for like less than a year. Like at most I like chat in like big tourneys. Like obviously I chat a lot, but like even I didn't think like my name would be able to receive like that much recognition that someone I've never even like really seen before, like they recognize my name.
Hmm.
So like in some ways it feels like I'm kind of like bridging the gap even more than it's already been bridged,
Hmm.
which is a cool thing to do.
It's funny because when I go to GDQ and get my badge, I don't think I've ever been like, "Oh, hey." Unless it's like
Yeah,
I know the person behind the counter, but that's not the
yeah.
same thing.
There were even a couple times at Big House where like Smashers just like they recognize me, like, oh, you're GTM. What are you doing here? A couple of them even asked for photos. It was honestly really cool because like it's not my game. It's not my game at all, but people still know me.
Uh, I didn't know I had Mr. Famous here. Wow. No wonder you're wearing the shades. Too cool for the
Yeah,
rest of us. But
I'll
yeah,
be wearing them at pace too.
hell yeah. God. I get on my plane in what, like 16 hours?
Ooh, let
Jeez.
me check when my ride
It's coming
is.
up. It'll be nice to have a week break
Yeah,
from
mine's in
life.
19 hours. I'm just hoping I don't wake up sick because it was just like What I'll
Mm-hmm.
probably do is like if I feel sick, I'll probably still go, but like I'll be masked up and probably just like stay away for a couple days until I feel better.
Yeah.
Um, but hopefully my immune system just clutches up and I don't feel shit tomorrow, and then I can just enjoy the week stress free.
Yeah. That's the dream.
Yeah,
Well, at least you weren't at a pace in the fall of last year
yeah.
because
I heard like everyone got sick there.
oh yeah. It didn't help that like so it was Bridgeronis and I's room. That was like the party room that year.
Hmm.
So I couldn't avoid it. Everyone was just in there.
God,
So it's
that
like,
sounds like a
well,
nightmare.
so yeah, like the night before, like my flight was like super early, like 6 or 7 a.m. So I just didn't sleep. And then I'm on the plane and I start feeling awful. And then
Ooh.
it turns into the worst day of my life.
Ugh, God, yeah, that sounds fucking miserable.
But if it is COVID, for me, it only lasted like a day and then I was fine. Like I
Yeah.
still had it, but it became like head cold, not like I
Mm.
might just pass away. So yeah, hopefully it's not as bad. I mean, last
Yeah.
year I don't recall there being an outbreak.
There wasn't an outbreak, but a couple of people did get like pretty sick, but like it was a very small handful.
Hmm. Yeah.
Fortunately, I was like very germophobic. Like half the time, I would just be like sanitizing my hands, making sure I don't have germs and shit.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it did seem to come in clutch because I didn't feel anything.
Yeah. I didn't get sick at all either, which was very surprising just because of I was very aware of what happened last time. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was a fun event. So it's I know I've said this a bunch already, but it's so weird that I'm like talking about oh here comes pace, and by the time this is up, pace is over.
Yeah.
It's just the perfect amount of time in between. Just very interesting, but
Yeah.
yeah, oh God, I'm just looking so forward to it. So
I'm
oh,
looking forward to it as well, as long as I can avoid getting sick, which I think I'll be fine. I don't know. Like it's been stressing me out, but
mm-hmm,
I think I'm fine. I just wish there were an easier way to tell so I could stress about it less.
mm-hmm, yeah. I always stress about the traveling aspect because
Yeah,
I'll
that.
always forget something, and it's like
Ooh.
ah, God damn it.
I'm stressing about traveling, but like I know what to expect because I've already done
Mm-hmm,
it before. Like the arguably the first time was probably gonna be the most stressful because it was like it was my first time flying alone and all that. Like everything's
mm.
just very straightforward, but it's just hard to shake off those nerves.
Yeah, and I'm speaking as someone that's gone to 5 GDQs, and this will be the third pace. Like I go
Yeah,
on flights a lot, and every time it's still like, here we go.
yeah. It's just kind of like trudging through mud mentally.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a stress fest. That's
Yeah,
flying for you, especially
but at
with
least
my
it's like
luck, and I'll get a delayed flight or a something. Like
yeah.
when I was coming home from Pace last time, and I got stuck in Atlanta overnight.
Oh, Jesus, that sounds pretty fucking awful.
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
case in my case the flight's like an hour and a half long, so like it's very like brief all things considered, but like
Mm,
when you're in that plane and like if you don't have the wi-fi because like fuck paying for airplane
mm-hmm.
wi-fi, it's like you're just kind of
True.
sitting there.
Yeah, I'll have some gaming devices to keep me tied over, but yeah, I have a flight and then like an hour layover into another flight, so it'll be
Yeah,
like a 4 hour journey for me at least, something like that. So
I'll probably just like I'll probably just do like next to nothing on the plane, honestly. Like last time I just kind of sat there with my thoughts. It was pretty peaceful all things considered.
a good meditation time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been kind of meditating recently.
Mm,
But doing it for like an hour is just like I'd get bored, you know?
yeah, I can't. It's worse when I'm like trying to sleep, but I can't like just shut off thoughts. My mind races too
Yeah.
much. I wish I could do
I
some
think
sort of
that's most people
meditation.
though.
Yeah, maybe.
And I guess that's also kind of like the whole point of meditation is like you train yourself to be able to just like whisk away those thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I read that book everyone recommends, The Inner Game of Tennis, because that's supposed to
I
help in like the nerves and like competition aspect, but I'm
okay,
still
so
not quite there.
I have it on my desk, but I haven't read it.
There
I
it
don't know if
is.
I will.
I found a free like PDF online of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool owning something physically, especially
Yeah.
like a book. But I'll probably just like read through a PDF if I ever feel like actually properly reading it.
Well, you probably just want to use the book because the PDF I had like had a bunch of typos in it.
Ooh,
Like I
that's
think it
weird.
was like just scanned. Like they just scanned the book and it didn't do it right.
That's a bit weird. I
Like
guess you could probably just find like another PDF maybe.
I don't know, but it was insightful. It was interesting, but I mean, it's a lot of work to like change how your mindset works,
Yeah,
especially when you just don't have a good one like me.
yeah,
And then it's like, yeah, this is going to take a while to actually fix. Well, not fix, but like improve. So, yeah,
yeah.
it's a whole thing. But yeah, definitely important. So, and especially in this field of work, I guess.
Field of work.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I mean,
Maybe
I
not high
guess.
paying work, but
Yeah.
wor- you're working yourself. I
One
don't
day, one
know.
day it'll be recognized as a profession.
I can only hope,
Yeah,
so I can actually pretend I have a job.
yeah. Mom, look.
Look, I'm not throwing my life away. I swear, I'm not huffing copium. I got this.
Yeah,
Actually, being on GDQ is what helped me. It's like, here, check out this thing I'm doing. It's like, whatever. But then they watch it like, oh,
yeah,
oh. And now it's serious business all of a sudden.
yeah.
Something like that, at least. But yeah. My acceptance streak has been insane. With
It
I've
is
been
pretty
into
impressive.
I've been to every pace. I've gotten into every pace that I've been to, and now two GDQs in a row. Like this is very weird,
The
very
GTA,
abnormal.
the GTA's golden era, maybe.
We'll see because I'm also at like the lowest point in my streaming career at the same time. So it's like, what's going on here? But
Yeah.
I'm not one that cares too much about numbers. Although maybe I should start caring and maybe I'd
I
actually put
mean,
effort into things. Who knows?
I don't know. Sometimes caring about the numbers can be like kind of unhealthy for your mental. It just depends on who you
Yeah.
are, really.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean it is for me, but what I should do is like instead of being sad about it, like maybe I should work on improving this and again, maybe then I'll put effort into things instead of just putting no effort because I'm sad for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I don't know. I'm gonna use getting back home from this pace trip as like a mental reset and try to get
I
things
think
back in
I think
order.
I will as well.
So because I haven't like done a speedrun stream in 2.5 weeks now or something.
Mm.
And it's like, why not? Like I haven't prepared at all for my run at pace. I mean, I'll have time to in the like
I've been doing
room.
some preparation, but it's like I think I might just go with the flow, you know.
Yeah, I
Less
mean,
stress that way.
again, you're fortunate to have like a bunch of time. I have one shot,
Yeah,
so it's like,
you have one shot, so
but
I'm sure
yeah,
you'll do well though.
yeah, we'll see. I am pretty good at having really good marathon runs for some reason. So we'll
I
see.
mean that's a hell of a skill to have, you know.
Yeah, I still don't quite understand how I have that, knowing me and my brain, but I'll take it.
Yeah, just go with it.
I'll just
Take
clutch
take
up.
what you can get.
I'll just clutch up. Maybe I'll get world record on the stage. That'd be no, I won't. That game's too hard, but yeah. I'm actually super looking forward to the 70-person 70-star relay though.
Oh yeah, that'll be pretty sick.
Do you know what star you're doing?
Uh, the Rolling Rocks.
Oh, why do I ask? I know the answer. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Because GTM slide, of course.
Hee hee.
Hee hee. Yeah, I have bits.
Ooh.
So,
Okay, so like no offense to King J, but like I feel like he should really have someone else more professional do the throws, you know? Because last time he did it, it wasn't the greatest.
I get like him ending his like thing he made. I think he deserves that at least, but
I guess, yeah, maybe he should
that
just
that's
practice the
that
throws though.
that's damn drama starting up early,
It's not,
but
I'm just like trying to, you know, provide a good suggestion for the good
yeah,
people.
of course, of course. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll see. I'm like, I really want to like go for everything in bits just to like show off, but
That would be pretty sick.
like I'm someone who can get like a 43-second bits or something, so it's
I
not
mean,
bad,
yeah, I
but
mean it's pretty solid to nail overall. Like if you're consistent with it, like you know, no
mhm.
one's gonna complain about it.
Well, we'll see up on stage, but I like really want to do moving left and at least get like a good triple jump dive onto the rotating platform at
Mm,
the start. Those are
yeah,
like the two big things that I'd be worried about, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think you'll do fine. Just like quick
Mhm.
warm up, analyze, etc.
Because at the last one, I got top of mountain TTM, and that's not too bad. Well, it is harder than some other stars people had to do, and I
Yeah,
did.
but like
I got the log wall kick, and then the triple jump. Well, what is it? Triple jump, and then like double jump, then jump dive to the top.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got that side flip, ledge grab. I did it all.
Like as
I
long
was
as you
sick
know
with
what
it.
you're doing, it's not the hardest.
Yeah, but bits all the pressure at the very end, and like it's not exactly easy movement.
Yeah,
We'll see. Hopefully, I don't just cringe it up at the very end.
yeah.
I want to put on a good performance. So, but yeah, I mean that'll be so cool because not very many people got to see the first one because of how like weird the setup was. But this will be on the like main stage. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hype. So that'll be cool. So and by the time this is on YouTube, we can see how it went.
Yeah.
So yeah, will be cool though. So um, anyway, you got any like you have future plans in speedrunning that you know of?
I want to try other categories next year for sure. I'm definitely gonna try to learn Luigi's Mansion just as another speed game. Really enjoyed that
Hmm,
game as a kid as well. Uh,
interesting.
so yeah, that's it'll be something I'll work toward. It won't be like a serious commitment, but like just baby steps at first. 16
Yeah.
will still be like the primary thing, but once I'm like comfortable enough with the 70 star, I
Hmm.
think that'll be pretty interesting for reviewers.
Yeah. 70 stars sick. That's a sick run
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it's like and
Something
it's
that's
long.
really overlooked, I think, too.
Yeah, it's long and it's ideal for viewers and
Hmm.
like viewership retention.
Yeah, but I mean, working towards like a whole nother game. I mean, that's a big step too, especially when you haven't really
It
done that
is,
yet.
yeah.
So, why Luigi's Mansion specifically?
I played it as a kid. I really loved it. I think the speedrun's pretty interesting.
All
And it
right.
doesn't look like the most complicated. It's not the most complicated like movement.
Mm-hmm.
Um a lot of it I think is just like being able to take straight lines and like position yourself in time for the right thing at the right time. So like if you're on top with your memorization and your lines, like it's a pretty straightforward speed game overall.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know too much about that speedrun in particular because it's not a game I grew up with. So,
Yeah, I don't know that much either. Like I know the any percent run's like absolutely insane though, because like they go out of bounds and it's like it's pretty insane.
yeah, anything with out of bounds makes it cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I mean that's an interesting game. So, that should be cool, but
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, not something I know too much about, so
yeah.
I'll
Anyway,
have to look into it. Hmm?
it is getting to be about that time where I have to head out though, unfortunately.
Yeah, we gotta. Sometimes you gotta have a short episode. Makes sense.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think we covered pretty much
yeah.
everything, right?
We covered a good amount. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're satisfied, that's all that matters.
yeah. I'm pretty satisfied. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm
Oh
running
yeah.
out of topics to discuss, so
Yeah.
covered your speedrunning catalog. So I think that's all you
Yeah.
need. So, but yeah, if there's any quick questions in the chat, you can feel free to ask. And if you want to self promote to your liking, please feel free.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at GTM5471. I tweet pretty often. On Twitch,
Yeah,
I'm GTM underscore underscore.
there you
That's about
go.
the only two things I mainly use. So
Yeah,
yeah, feel free to check it out.
I have the
I don't
YouTube link
know.
as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I don't know
nowhere
if
to go.
I don't know if Evasion's still in chat, but yes, I do have the shutter shades still.
Very important.
Yeah.
See, these are the important questions. I'm glad we're getting answers here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I mean, that's about it for me.
yep. All right. Well, yeah. GTM's always somewhere on Twitch or Twitter,
Yeah.
so
Well,
it's
this week
impossible to not
Pace.
see him. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Pace coming up. Here we go.
Yep.
Excited. All right. Well, thanks for watching this episode. Watching on YouTube. Can watch these live. Watching on Twitch, you can see what you missed on the YouTubes. This one will be released next Sunday from when I'm streaming. So, what day is that? Like the 19th or 12th? 12th. Yes.
Yeah, 12.
The 12th. There you go. All right. Well, yeah. Wrap it up here. Thanks for watching again, everyone. Take care. See ya.
GG.
GG's.